Yesterday we discussed about the like we are discussing about the client administration. As part of the client administration, so we know how to create the client, how to log into the newly created client. So to log into the newly created client, we need to change the one parameter. So then we discussed about the profiles and parameter administration. In the profiles and parameter administration, two types of instances profiles are available, and one default profile are is available here, right? So here, suppose any instance specific related, you have to change the instance profile. That parameters you have to change it here. So you can use any client. You can use any client to change the value, right? Any client to you can change the value. So new client. So once you log into the any client, you can change the value of the parameters. Okay. So it's like system wide. So not the client specific related parameter. It's a system wide parameter. So once you log into the system, any client, you can use it for changing the parameters and profiles. Okay. Once you save it, we need to do the restarts, or if it's the dynamic, you no need to do the restart. That is what yesterday we discussed, static and dynamic. So after login to the newly created client, what we have to do after login to the newly created client? So what we have to do here? So why? Because new system you created. So then you have the clients 00 and so 000 and 001 clients you have. Then, but at the same time, yesterday you have created the new client and you log into the newly created client. So previously you log into the you log into the 000 or 001 you logged in and you are doing the work here. But you have data here. Again, you are developing the data in the 100 client. Again, developing the data in the 100 client. Again, developing the data in the 100 client. So it will be, so again, time waste, right? Again, you want to develop the data in the 100 client. Why? Because as of now, you have created the configurations and some codes, custom code, programs, everything you have written in the 001 client. But now, again, 100 client means it's again different. Again, you have to do it here, right? So that is the reason SAP introduced the client copies concept. Client copies concept here. Client copies concept here, client copies. So here we have the three types of client copies available here. One is the local client copy. The second one is called the remote client copy, local client copy, remote client copy, and client export and import method, client export and import method. So local client copy. Local client copy means, so you have within the system, you have already data in the other client. You have already data in the other client. Yes, as of now, we have created the data in the 001. So you want to transfer that data to the 100 client. 100 client you want to transfer. So that is called the local client copy, which means locally you can copy the data from one client to another client. One client to another client is called the local client copy. Locally, you are copying the data. Locally means, suppose if I take the one more example, so within Hyderabad, you can copy that, you can just parcel or you can copy the data from so one place to maybe Miapur to LB Nagar or to BHCL to so Amirpet, whatever it may be. So within the Hyderabad only, you are copying the data here. Okay. So this is the Hyderabad. These are the places within the Hyderabad, right? So then you can copy from one place to another place here, one place to another place here. That is called the local client copy. Locally you are copying the data from one client to, from any client, from one client to any client, you need to do this one. So to perform this local client copy, what you have to do, the first of all, you need to log into the newly created client. Newly created client, you have to log in. Ella login out. So sorry, how can we log into the newly created client? So we have to change the parameter. Then we can log into the SAP star with the pass, right? Then once you log into the SAP star with the pass, once you log into the newly created client with SAP star in the pass, then go to SCCL is the transaction code for local client copy. L means local client copy. Local client copy. Then select the profile. Select the profile. Profile means which data you want to copy. Some customers they don't you want to copy here. So some customers they don't want to copy the all the data, right? So suppose some customers they don't want to copy the all the data from system. In this case, so they can use the profile. So let me show you the profiles here. Why system is not getting started? Is there anyone changed any profiles parameters? Emergency shutdown. This does not have much space. Let me restart only one. Okay. So let me log into the development system here. So in the development system, suppose this is the suppose example, this is the client here. Okay. So this is the client. I'm logging with the, so let me check what is the new client here. SEC4, SEC4 here. So we have your number of clients are available here, right? 100 client 101, 111 available. So let me log into the newly created client here. Newly created client here in this case here. So suppose like 100 client here, right? With SAP star with the PASS pass will work. So If it is not working means the parameter is not changed here. The parameter is not changed. So, or so maybe the password is changed here. Yes, the password is changed here. So then let me set the password here. Let me set the password here, right? So I logged into the newly created client, any user. So if you don't have any user, you can log in with the SAP star with the pass. You can use it here. So right, so you can use it here. Then go to SCCL local client copy. SCCL local client copy. So here, first of all, when you are doing the client copy, you need to log into the newly created client. Newly created client, you need to log in. From here, you need to pull the data here, right? So then you can use the profile. You can use the profile here, right? So client copy profile, you have to use it here. Client copy profile, you have to use it here, right? So client copy profile, you have to use it here. So here you need to use the client. From which client you need the data? From which client you need the data? From which client you need the data? Suppose I need the data from the 101 client. Means 101 client to the target client is the 100 client. So which data? So here the data is segregated by the profile wise. Profile wise, you can see, suppose you want all the data, then you can select the SAP underscore all. You don't want to all the data from the 101 client to 100 client here. So then you can select the any one of the data here. You can see the, suppose you need only users. You need only users data from 101 client, right? So then you can use the select the only users. Do you need only users without authorization, just users? Then you can select this one. You want customization data. So here the data segregated like this, the profiles wise. These are the client copy profiles here. The data segregated by profiles wise here. You need to select the any one of the profile here. Then you can run as a immediately, means in the foreground in the dialog mode the client copy will happen here. So if you run that, if you run the this long running things in the dialog mode, what will happen? The screen will be freezed. The screen will be freezed. Suppose example, if you schedule in the back end, the job will be created, schedule as a background job, then continue, then the job background job was successfully scheduled. The log is displayed in the SCC3. In the SCC3 transaction code, you can see the, in the SCC3 transaction code, you can see the log here, client copy log here. See here. So this is the client copy log here. So it is processing today. And from which client? Source client is the 101, target client is the 100 client. So what it is copying? SAP underscore user. So status processing here. So what is the tables here? So how many tables? 103 tables are copying as part of this profile. Total 103 tables data is there. So this tables data is getting processing to the, so from 101 client to 100 client here. So number of tables 25 here. Number of tables are 25 currently progressed. So if I click on refreshing, then this is getting so copied. This is getting copied here. The tables data is getting copied into the systems here. The tables data is getting copied here. So why? Because currently which table is being edited? This is the AGR table, right? So here you can monitor it here, the status of the tables here. Now also in the back end, if you go to the SM37, the background job, you see the one job is active, one background job is active here. One job is active, client copy job is active here. So which is running from 101 to 100 client. What is the profile? SAP underscore user profile, which is running here. So this is the spool record, what exactly happening and all the details will be displayed here. This is the spool record here. So when it is started, what is the duration? So it will show the display. All the data will be showed here. All the data will be showed here. So here the client copy logs, we can see it in the SCC3. SCC3, here we can see the client copy logs and all. We can see it here. How many tables are copied and everything. It will see it here, right? So this is the local client copy, which means locally within the system, copying the data from one client to another client is called the local client copy. Local client copy within the system, copying the data from one client to another client is called the local client copy. Local client copy, that is called the local client copy. Okay, any client, from any client to any client, from any data we can copy it, any data we can copy it, so that, so we are copying the client data. So whatever the data is there here in the 101 client, same data will come to the 100 client. So in this case, you no need to again recreate the data. Again, you have to no need to create the data in the specific client. You have already data, just you can pull the data from this system. Okay, so that is the, so client copy, so procedure, local client copy. Okay, so local client copy mechanism. So SCC3 is the select the profile, then perform the client copy. Okay, so the client copy, local client copy, right? Local SCC is the common for all the client copies related transaction codes here. So L means local here, right? So then the next one is the remote client copy. Remote client copy. Locally, we know within the client, within the system, within the ECP or ECQ or ECD, copying the data from one client to another client is called the local client copy. Local client copy. That is the locally you are copying the client data here, right? So at the same time, we can also copy from any system, any client, we can use it here. That is called the local client copy here. Okay, so local client copy. So the next one is called the remote client copy, right? The next one is called the, what does it mean by remote client copy? Remote client copy. What does it mean by remote client copy here? Okay, so remote client copy means remote client copy. So for remote client copy, let me take it here, remote client copy method. So remote client means remotely copying the data here. Suppose here you have two systems here. Here local, only one system coming to the place here. Remote client copy means remotely, means you have one system here, you have one more system here in the landscape, two systems here, right? From this system to this system, copying the data is called the remote client copy. From here to here or here to here, anywhere to anywhere, means between two systems. So between two systems, between two clients, for copying the data is called the, so remote client copy. So here we will use the SCC9 is the transaction code for the remote client copy here. So here, not in one system here. Here, between two systems, here we need to copy the data here. Between two systems, here we need to copy the data from, so one client to another client. That is called the remote client copy. Remote client copy between two systems here, right? So in this case, suppose example, you have the two systems. Suppose example, we have the ECD and we have the ECQ are available here. ECQ is the new system, but the same data is available in the ECD also. I want ECD data from here to here, right? ECQ data here. So I want ECD, so ECD 101 client data from here to ECQ 100 client. I want this data here. So in this case, so you can use the remote client copy method. Within the system, that is fine, local. I want between two systems here. Then you can use the remote client copy method. Remote client copy, you can use it here. Remote client copy, you can use it here. So for this one, to perform the remote client copy here, so how can we perform? Suppose example, this is in the Hyderabad, this is in the Bangalore region here. So this server is in the, suppose you want to transfer the one package or you want to give the delivery to the one node from here to one Hyderabad location to Bangalore location. The first of all, between two cities, the connection should be required, right? The between two cities, the connection should be required here. So the connection should be required here. So in the SAP also, between two systems, the connection should be required here. That is called the RFC connection here. RFC connection. The RFC, the connection is required from between two systems here. That's why we have, so SM59 is the transaction code where we can create the connectivity between the two systems. These two systems we have to create the connectivity. So ECD to ECQ or ECQ to ECD, the connectivity should be required. Then only we can transfer the data from Hyderabad to Bangalore region. So here from Hyderabad to Bangalore, we have the road connectivity is there and air connectivity is there, right? So that is the reason. So we can transferring the data through via road. We are transferring the deliveries data, parceling, everything going via ECD to ECP, ECQ. It is going via road, right? On the road, all those things are going here. Connectivity is there. If we don't have connectivity, then how can we transfer the data? No, right? We cannot transfer the data here. So that is the main question here, right? So here the connectivity is very important here. The connectivity is very important here to transfer the data from ECD to ECQ systems. ECD to ECQ system, the connectivity is very important here. The connectivity is very important here. Okay. So to perform this connectivity between the two within the system, you don't need. Why? Because the system to system. Within the system, only one client to another client. So you don't require any connectivity. But between the two systems, you require the connectivity. That's why we have the RFC administration concept. Here in SM59, we can create the connections. The connection types are ABAP to ABAP. Like means this is the ABAP system, this is the SAP system, SAP system. Between these systems, you can use the R3 connection, right? So then HTTP connection, which means so this is the SAP, the target is the non-SAP system. Then that time you can use the, so this connectivity, that time you can use the, something is happened here in the ECQ. Someone need to check what happened. So it's done. See here, local client copy is done here. Local client copy is done here. Locally, you copied the data from here to here. You have done it here. Local client copy, you done it here, right? So it is done. SCC3, you can see the here. Now connecting between two systems here. Connecting between two systems here. So here we have the ECD is there, ECP is there, production. Both are there here. So I want production data. I want the production client users or whatever the data you need to the collection users to the your development system, here. So I have these many users in here. I have these many users here. You can see here we have, so 18 entries are there here. 18 users are there in the here. I want this all these users to be my development system or my quality system. I want this one. So in this case, I want to do the connectivity. First of all, I want to do the connectivity here. So I can log into the target system here, go to the SM59. SM59 is the, so to create the connection between two systems here. So here we have the connection types are there here. Connection type here. So see here, ABAP connection. ABAP connection means, so the source and target systems are both are ABAP systems. Then we can create the ABAP connections, right? So then these many connections are there here. These many connections are there here. So HTTP connection. HTTP connection means your target system is the site, right? The HTTP site or HTTPS site. Then that is you can use the, so this HTTP connection, you can use it here, right? Internal connections. So logical systems, TCP/IP. TCP/IP means the programs based. In the TCP/IP, the programs will be used in the connection details. The programs will be used here, right? So this rarely will be used here, this TCP/IP connection here. So most frequently we will use the either HTTP connection or ABAP connection here. So to create the connection to the your remote server, so then just click on the create button. There is a one form will come here to create the remote destination to the why, because if you create the connectivity between two systems, then only the data transfer will happen via this RFC destination. Otherwise, data transfer will happen. So our remote connectivity is required the connectivity between the two systems here to transfer the data. So connectivity between these two systems are required here. So that is the reason here we are using the ECD to ECD, the connectivity we are using here, right? So the first of all, what is the destination name? You can create it here. So I can create like ECD to ECP, just any naming convention you can use it here. Okay. So this is the type connection, above connection. Why? Because my ECD, my ECP. So both are ECD, ECP, both are above systems. So that time I can use this above connection. I can use it here. So in the technical settings tab here, you can type the what is the target host here. Your target host is the SAP Windows 1. So what is the instance number of the your ECP system? You are connecting to the ECP. Your ECP instance number is here like 20, right? Then give the 20 here. Means target host name, then target instance number, you have to give it here. So, right? Then go to the logon security tab. Go to the, okay, this destination is already exist. It's what's saying here. Then go to the logon security tab here. In the logon security tab, so you are connecting fine. In the technical system details, you provided the host and firewall, that is connectivity will happen. But which user will go and place the data? Which user will go and place the data? Then in the logon security tab, you need to enter the which user. Suppose like 100 client user, 100 client, then user, then I can use the basis user. Then what is the password? Then password I have to define it here. Then click on the save button. Then the destination is saved here. The destination is saved here. The destination is created here. Then click on the connection test here. So the connection test is working here. See here, the connection test is working here. So connection test is working. So then it is working. Go to the utilities, then test the authorization test. Authorization test also working here, which means so it's able to connect, and also it's able to place the files also. It is able to connect, and it is able to place the data also inside of the system. Inside of the system tables, it is able to place the files also. So that is the reason we created the remote connection we created. Remote connection we created here. Remote connection we created here. Suppose something wrong with the you given the wrong details here. You given the wrong details here. Something wrong. Suppose like let me remove it here. Okay, something wrong here. So then what will happen? You see here. So when you click on the connection test, it won't happen. Why? Because you wrongly given the some of the data, some of the technical settings details you wrongly given. So that's why it's still checking. Then what particular time? So it will give the error message saying that it cannot be connected to the your remote server. Means your remote server, it cannot be connected here. So error when opening the RFC, the connection error here. So it is the gateway not reached here. Why? Because here the wrong which we are given is this is not the correct host for where our ECP is installed. This is the different host. Now correct it, right? Just click on the connection test. Now it is working here. Now how it is working? So the wrong, because of the wrong parameter, so it is working.
Sir, if connection type instance number is not available, it created for a message server means will be no instance in technical setting destination.
For every SAP system, there is a every SAP Every
Instance number.
every SAP system, definitely there should be a host name and an instance number. Those details we have to give it here. So your target is not the SAP system. Then in this case, you need to use the HTTP connection. HTTP connection, you have to use it here. So your target is not the HTTP connection. Your target is the some of the Google server. Google for providing the data here or different server. Then you can just provide the target host www dot suppose like the google.com. Then the service number always it should be the 80 for the this one. Then so just you can use the save. You no need to provide the logon security, just connection test here, right? So it is working 200. Okay. Okay. The response body you see you will get the Google home page. You will get it out here. Google home page. You will get the data here. So like this, you can just to create the connection here. So if you want to place the data, place the data in the Google server means, so you need the Google user ID and password also. We have to place it here. So we don't have any user ID password. Just we are testing the connectivity. Then just created the Google data we have selected here. So this is the HTTP connection. HTTP connection. Not only here. Suppose sometimes we may have to send the bank server files to the bank servers. So some payment files, some everything to the some settlements and everything to the bank server via SAP system. So that time we may have to create the bank server details here. We may have to integrate our bank server details in the system here. So that is the reason. So we can use this HTTP connection. We can use this HTTP connection here. So let me try to create the connectivity to the Gmail, whether it will work or not. Always the service number, always it should be the common for all. So then SSL handshake here. So means so certificate authentication is required here. The certificate authentication is required here. It's like mail.google.com. So not the gmail.com. Something it is routing to the failed. So it's failing. Initially connection test itself, it is failing here. Why? Because we have that is wrong, I guess. So we have to give the mail.google.com. So any HTTP connection, we have to use this HTTP connection to the external servers. So above connections means SAP to SAP. This is the SAP to non-SAP system. We can use the G for so the external servers here. This is the internal connection, system internal connections. So the logical system, so nothing will have, nothing will be there here, workflow only. So then TCP IP, program based. So rarely we will use it here. This is also we will never use these connections. Only the most frequently used connections are these two here, above to above connection. Then HTTP connections to the external servers, we have to use it here. These two connections are will be used for these two connections are will be used to connecting to the servers here, to connecting to the server. Someone created the connection to the YouTube also. So maybe that is also failed. Why? Because it's a 443. They have given the 80 here. 80 here. It should be HTTPS, I guess. HTTPS, I guess. So let me 443. Right? So then oh sorry. Failed 443. Connection closed. So they won't allow. Why? Because so it's a very public. This is all of the sensitive data, right? So how they can allow? That's why they will close their firewall, their gateway. They will close it here. All the unknown connections they will close it here. So that's why we are unable to connect it here. But Google is the public sector, public. Everybody can open from any device. That's why we are able to connect to the Google here. That's why we got the 200 response here. 200 response we got it here. That's why we are able to open in our system. We are able to open and we can do so anything we can practice it here, right? So but it's not required. So it's just example we created the Google. Same as like some third party banking sites or anything you want to create, you want to send the data from SAP to that server, we have to create these connections, we have to create it here. So remote connections, we have to create it here. Remote connections we have to create in the systems here, right? So why these remote connections are required? Connecting between two systems, the connectivity between the two systems here, the connectivity between the two systems we need. So ECD, so and EC. So between two systems, we have to create the, first of all, RFC destination. We have to create it for remote destination. For remote client copy also, we require the RFC destination should be created as a prerequisite activity. RFC destination should be created here, right? So we created the RFC destination here. Then we can transfer the data from one client to another client. Let's see, I created the RFC destination here. Then go to SCC9, SCC9, right? The SCC9. So what is the destination you want to transfer the data? This is the destination we created. It means I want ECP to ECP 100 client data. Which data? You want user master data or you want customization data? What data you require? Suppose like this small profile, this is the user master data. Then I want users. I want all ECP 100 client users should be in my ECD system. So that is what I am doing here. This is the between two systems here. Between two systems here. If I go to SU01, let me see how many users are there here. How many users are there here? Here we have a lot of users are there here. Compared to here, here we have the 39 entries are there. Means here we have the 39 users are there in the SAP system here. SAP system here, 39 entries are there here. Right? So, so what I can do here, I can take any one of instead of 100 client. Okay, 100 client only I am copying the data here, right? So here ECQ, how many users are there? How many users are there? Let me check. First of all, let's see whether all users will come or not. Let's see here. Just start check. We have only how many users entries? 18 entries are there here. 18 entries are there here. 18 entries are there here. Okay. This 18 entries, this 18 entries, this is the ECQ. 18 entries we are moving to the ECD system here. So which means after the final data copy, so this 39 entries will be deleted from the system. This 39 entries will be deleted from the system, and so this new 18 entries will come into the ECP system, ECD system. ECD, you will get the 18 entries only. That is what I am doing now, right? So just selected the client, which client, then which client from which client, source means here remote client copy I am doing here remote client copy I am doing here, remote client copy I am doing here. That's why I selected the source destination as this is the destination here. Then so you can schedule as a background job, that is fine, but I don't want to schedule the background job here. I want to start immediately, means dialog mode. So as I told, if you start the client copy, either local client copy, remote client copy in the dialog mode, what will happen? So what will happen? So the data, the source client copy is protected by the client copy. Protected means here the client copy settings are,
and is not a token, I guess.
yeah, not allowing to do perform the client copies here, right? So just click the no overwriting, right? So just click on the this button. Someone changed the logical system entries also.
100.
Yeah, but it is ECD. Someone changed this one. Already used by some other client. Okay, that's it. It's very wrong. That is wrong actually. Okay, RFC destination here. So we selected the already RFC destination, right? This is the one. Click on OK button. Go back. First of all, we'll fix the issue here. So because that is wrong. BD54, someone given the wrong logical system here. The wrong logical system we have given here, right? So it's all are wrong here. You can create the new entry here, fill the all the details. Okay. So I can give like TCP CLNT 100 client, then TCP 100 client. Okay, data saved. Let me go back here. SCC4. So then 100 client, change button. Select it. Give the proper client number here. Okay, it's done. The proper client we have given here. Now let's go to SCC9 remote client copy. Select the profile. So ECP to ECP, that profile you can select it here. Then schedule as a immediately you can select it here. So when you choose the immediately in the dialog mode, what will happen? It will run in the dialog mode, which means until completion of the activity, your screen will be frozen. Screen will be stuck here. See here, the screen is stuck now. So because you are doing this activity in the dialog mode you are doing here. So here via through this RFC destination, here. So see here, this is running something, it is running from here, basis user here. So this is running via this RFC destination here. The client copy is happening. The client copy is happening in the system here via this RFC destination here. So you can see this is the AL08 in the ECP system here. In the ECP system, AL08 here. In the AL08, so you can see the connectivity entries, the connection entries here. This is the RFC connection which is initiated, not this one. I think this is the one, I think. So this is the one which is initiated here, right? So here, see here, the remote client copy is processing now. From ECP to ECD, the remote client copy is processing. Why? Because source is the ECP. So ECP 100 client, just users data. I just selected the users data copying to the, so target client is called the ECD 101 client. This target client also 100 client. So it is copying to the target client here. See here, it is processing the table here. So which means until completion of the activity here, your screen is frozen here. See here. So see here, 20% completed. See, suppose if you schedule as a background job here, then that will be processed. If you schedule as a background job, that will be processed here. But we are not scheduled as a background job here. Just we are running in the dialog mode to see the behavior here. So it is running in the dialog mode in the system. So it is running in the dialog mode. So while running the dialog mode, it will be like this only. You have to wait until completion of the activity here. Right? So why? Because in the dialog mode, it is running in the dialog work process will take care of the work here. So otherwise, just create the new session here in the ECD. Just we can minimize it. So just you can see the data. So how much data is pulling and all the details you can see it here, right? The data is getting grabbed here from the here. So that's why it is processing now. Now data is processing to the 100 client here. So let's wait for the 100 completion of the 100%, right? So that the remote client copy will be completed here. So this is the way.
Target client and source client both are 100.
Yes, but systems are different, right? That is what any client to any client, 100 to 100, 100 to 101 or 101 to 100. So any client to any client should be, you can copy the data, but both the clients should be exist. Which client you want? You want to copy the 400 to 500. First of all, the 400 client should be exist, right? So that any client to any client from any
system should be different.
Yeah, system should be different. Yes.
But we have logged in into the source destination and doing these all things, right?
Right. So target destinations, we have to do it here. Okay. So target, suppose example, my source is this one. Yes, right. So ECD, I want data in the ECD. Then, so I want data in the ECD. So this is the ECP system. So ECP system. So this is the ECP, right? So this is the ECD system. So you need some data from ECP to ECD. Then you need to log into the here, then create the connectivity, then pull the data from via this RFC destination. You can pull the data here. That suppose you want
target destination, you are doing these all things.
To the target destination.
Destination is helping here. The target destination is helping to pick up the data
Source.
from ECP source. Then it is transferring to the here. So source is the ECP here. ECP. Why? Because we are in the source. We want this source data into the target. Target is the ECP. Suppose you want ECD. You want ECD data into ECP system. ECP system means target system. Suppose example vice versa now. Vice versa. Reverse order. You want to data. So in this case, you need to log into the ECP system, initiate the connectivity to the ECD, check other already exists or not. If not, create the new one, nothing will happen. Right? Just initiate the connection, then select the profile, then select the destination, then this data will be copied to the from ECP system. So ours is the pull mechanism. Ours is the pull mechanism, not the push mechanism. The client copy is the pull mechanism. Pull mechanism means from which client or which system you need this data, you need to log into that system, then you need to pull the data from pull the water from the well from that client here. Pull the data from the here, not the push mechanism. This is the pull mechanism, pulling the data from your source system. That is what here in the local client copy also what we are doing here. So in the local client copy between two systems here, so 100 client or 001 client. So you want to data in the 100 client, then you need to log into the newly created client 100 client, then you need to pull the data from here to here, pulling the data. That is what we have to do it here. So that is called the remote client copy. Okay. So you can try this one, but don't overwrite any data in the ECP system. So just pull the data from the ECP system, but don't try to load in the ECP. ECP is the production system. I will make it ready for our ECQ. I can make it ready. So just temporary, I am pulling the data from source is the ECP. You can make it source as the ECP, but no, don't make target as the ECP. ECP is the production. We have the lot of data is there. So don't try, everything will be gone if you try that one. What will happen when you are trying here? The first of all, you are trying from here to here, right? Here, if any data is there, all the data will be deleted first. It will be removed. Then only it will copy this client data to the here. So first of all, it will remove the data. Already existing users, existing data, everything will be deleted. Then it will copy the data from here to here. It will copy the data. That will happen here.
Ravindra, it's regarding yesterday's class regarding client creation.
Okay.
Yesterday we have created one more client in from on one system.
Okay.
And you said that we are supposed to enable SAP star parameter in the instance profile, right?
Okay.
For that we need to have a user. So what is a user? Is it a copy of DDIC user or SAP star user to log into it and to do the change the parameter?
Which system are you talking? ECQ or ECD?
No, in any system. Let's say I'm talking in a general way. Let's say I take one invoice.
Whenever you install any system, you have the normally SAP star DDIC users will come, right?
Right.
You can log into the SAP star and the DDIC, just to create the one dummy user. But here we have already basis user is there. You can use the basis user.
No. I'm not talking about the practice purpose. But let's say if in the real time scenario, so what could be the copy of the basis? Is it the ECC? I mean, is it a copy of
DDIC.
DDIC?
DDIC.
Okay, right. Yeah.
DDIC is as the super user. So it has all the authorizations. You can do that.
Always I supposed to use only DDIC, right? Not
DDIC
this
only. Yeah,
star.
DDIC you can use it better.
Okay, right. Yeah. Thanks.
Yes.
At the beginning, I was asked one query now regarding that SAP star. In that different instance, also I can able to log in.
Okay, different application server, you mean to say?
In the same system, different instance, I'm able to log in. But in that particular instance, SAP star has been not added in parameter.
Okay, let me check. So we have 13.
And one more thing, SAP star, we have to use the password only EISS, right?
Right.
So I was using, I think, another password. I can able to log in.
SAP star means which client? So here you see login / SAP no underscore automatic parameter set in the 04 instance, and in the 13 instance also it's set. So that's why you are able to log into the both the system, both the instance.
But in the system, if I go to the created one connection D13, in that I'm unable to see that login / user. But here we are able to see it. But in the system, yesterday was created different connection.
Maybe profiles are not